We're continuing into our geometry section now by getting into volumes, and volume is the inside of 3D shapes. So we're talking three-dimensional figures now, and we're going to start with cylinders. Now a cylinder is a circle extended into 3 dimensions here. So we're going to try and imagine a circle, and if you take that circle and just extend it upward, you've now created like a can shape, a cylinder. Now the way we're going to show this here, since we're in 3D, our circle is going to look more like an oval because we're looking at it at an angle, and then we just give it some height here, close it off, and we've got ourselves a cylinder. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at, we already know that the area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, so the area of a circle is pi r squared. What we're going to be doing is adding height to it to make it three-dimensional. So we're going to introduce the h. Okay, h for height. So this right here is how you find the volume of a cylinder. So you want to make a note of that. It is pi r squared times h, the height. And if we mark it out over here, remember your distance from the middle of the circle to the edge of the circle is the radius, and then how tall it is the height. Okay, so I'll mark that off. Height and radius, and pi, remember, is just our number on the calculator. This is the volume of a cylinder. All right, and we're going to be using this for the rest of our problems here. So, starting this off. For the first example, let's go ahead and find the volume. All right, so we've got ourselves this cylinder here. They'll give us some information about it. 5m, so that's 5 meters. And we've got a distance here of 11 meters. They want us to find the volume, and we know that the volume of a cylinder, I'll put v, lowercase cylinder, is pi r squared h. Pi r squared h. So let's plug it in. Do they give us the radius? Yes, the radius is 5. Do they give us the height? Yes, they do. That height is 11 meters. So we have everything we need. Let's just plug it in. So pi is just pi. The radius is 5, but we need to square that and then multiply it by 11. So all these numbers are going to get multiplied together eventually. I'll do the exponent first. So we have pi 25, because 5 squared is 25, and then 11 here. And then using our calculator, multiplying 25, 11, and pi together, we should come out to a decimal somewhere in the range of 863.9. So that is the volume of this cylinder, how much is inside the cylinder, but that number doesn't make any sense to us without the units. So we look here, we've got meters. So I'm going to put m for meters. But we think back to our circle days. The circumference, the way around a circle, is in just meters, say. The area is in meters squared, but once we move to volume, this needs to be in meters cubed. Okay, so think about this. 3D, our units are going to have the exponent 3 on them. All right, so our volume is 863.9 meters cubed. Okay, it's called cubed. Let's try another one. So, for example, let's go ahead and find the volume again. And let's take this cylinder and lay it on its side. All right. So that's going to be 3 yards. And this is going to be 7 yards. So again, the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. Do they give us the radius? Yes. Okay, from the middle to the side, that is your radius, 3. Do they give us the height? Now in this case, the can's been laid on its side, but it's still the height. If you rotated this back upwards, 7 yards would still be the height of it. Okay, so just kind of imagine in your mind that 7 is the height. So let's plug it in. Pi r is 3. but it needs to be squared. H is 7. So 3 squared is 9. And we take this to the calculator. Pi times 9 times 7 comes out to 197.9 units are yards, but remember 3D needs to be cubed. So the volume of this shape, of this cylinder, is 197.9 yards cubed. All right, one last example. Again, let's find the volume. So you'll notice a lot of these problems, not very hard, not very difficult. You just have to find the right numbers to plug into the formula. All right, so this time they give us 18 centimeters here, and from here to here, 25 centimeters. This is a cylinder, it's a can shape, so the volume formula for a cylinder is pi r squared h. So let's see. Do they give us the radius? Now, we see up top we have this 18, but if we look at the line connected to it, 18 goes from the side to the side, and that's not the radius, that's the diameter. But if I know the diameter, the radius is just half of that. So half of 18, the radius, would be 9 centimeters. So that's actually the number we want to plug in there for radius. Now, do they give us the height? Yes, 25 centimeters. So let's plug it in. We've got pi times the radius now we found out was 9, and we need to square it, times the height, 25. So this one's going to turn out pretty big because 9 squared is 81. We've got to multiply that by the 25 and the pi symbol. So on your calculator, pi times 81 times 25 comes out pretty big. We get 6,361.7, and I look at my units, centimeters, but cubed because this is three-dimensional. All right, so biggest thing to remember today, the correct formula is pi r squared h. Make sure you're using radius, and make sure your units are cubed in the end.